What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Today we're talking about our quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 12 fantasy football. Trying to get these out as quick as we could because we do know there's some lineup decisions to make based off of the Thursday Thanksgiving Day games that we have now. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into the quick and dirty top 30 starting right now at number 30. It's where I have Raheem Mostert, San Francisco 49ers. Why is he so low? Well, you can see the injury designation next to his name. It's still unclear whether or not he's activated this week. I put him at the bottom of the rankings here as a reminder to you guys that if he's activated, if he's a full go, I would start him this week. But it all depends on what we have happen here second half of the week. Just didn't want you to forget about him because it's not the easiest of matchups going up against the Los Angeles Rams, but the dude is dynamic when he's in the lineup. Number 29, Damian Harris, New England Patriots going against the Arizona Cardinals. This kid produces when he gets touches. The problem is they don't dedicate touches to nobody in New England. Does Sony Michel come back? Does he actually get into the game? Does James White get a little bit heavier of a target share with no Rex Burkhead? Does Cam Newton just take it all? A lot of questions in this backfield. No stability, no consistency. Got Damian Harris at 29. 28's Ronald Jones, Tampa Bay Bucks going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. A great matchup for Rojo. Why isn't he higher? Well, apparently he just can't stay in the good graces of Bruce Arians long enough to get consistent touches on a weekly basis. The dude goes out 2 weeks ago, puts up almost 200 yards, then gets out-touched by Leonard Fournette last week. That instability makes me worry. Got him right here at 28. 27's Duke Johnson, Houston Texans. A great matchup going up against the Detroit Lions, but he's still this low because he's sucked with his opportunity as a full-time starter in Houston. The volume should still be there. He'll see between 15 and 18 touches against a poor run defense. That's why he's still inside the top 30. Got him at 27. 26, James White. We talked about him when we talked about Damian Harris. James White has the opportunity to get more targets finally in this offense with no Rex Burkhead. A Rex Burkhead in which we've seen put up some pretty big fantasy days. Don't be surprised if a lot of that volume goes towards James White and he starts helping out a little bit more here second half of the season. Got him at 26 this week against Arizona. 25 right now is Kalen Ballage. He's still a few spots lower because A, he's banged up a little bit, plus there's still a bunch of rumors surrounding Austin Ekeler. At the time of this recording, it does not sound like Austin Ekeler is going to play, and once he is ruled out, Kalen Ballage will move up the rankings into the 15 to 18 range or so. He's produced great in the absence here the past few weeks of, Justin Jackson. Joshua Kelly's kind of disappeared. They haven't been using Tremaine Pope. It's been a lot of Kalen Ballage, and his activity in the passing game gives him the safer floor for now at 25, but could be moving up shortly. 24, Gio Bernard, Cincinnati Bengals. Post Joe Burrow, do they rely a little bit more on the running game and the short check down passes from Ryan Finley to Gio Bernard? It's possible. However, I don't expect this team to have a lead very often for the remainder of the year, which means we could be seeing less volume on the ground for Gio Bernard, which hurts the floor a little bit for right now. Got him at 24. 23, it's going to be Wayne Gallman, New York Giants going up against those Cincinnati Bengals, and Wayne Gallman has been playing great, right? Prior to the bye week, had 4 straight games with a touchdown. He's been very serviceable and a great find off the waiver wire for a lot of people here middle of the season. I don't really expect that to change here going forward. For right now, got him at 23. Number 22 is Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts. A great matchup going up against the Tennessee Titans this week. And is this the time that they finally start to dedicate more touches to Jonathan Taylor? They did last week, and the kid looked the best that he has all season long. They need to build off that momentum and really allow him to gain some confidence in this backfield because the kid is an elite talent once he can figure it all out. Right now, got him at 22. 21 is David Montgomery, Chicago Bears, a matchup going up against the Green Bay Packers. A great matchup. Green Bay allows some of the most points in the NFL to opposing running backs. The problem is the running game sucks in Chicago. The offensive line is horrendous, and David Montgomery hasn't been efficient since college, pretty much. He's still a crapshoot, but the matchup is great. The volume should still be there. Can he find the end zone? That's what we need. Got him at 21. Number 20 is Gus Edwards, Baltimore Ravens, but you can see the asterisk next to it because this one is obviously subject to change, right? With the recent news of the Pittsburgh and Baltimore game being moved to Sunday, that opens up the possibility for either J.K. Dobbins or Mark Ingram to be reactivated off the COVID list, which means this backfield may not solely be Gus Edwards. It's something we need to pay attention to here heading into the weekend because if they're still ruled out, Gus Edwards is a lock for basically 20 touches this week, and that's what we're looking for. Just need to wait and see if he's back there by himself. For right now, got him at 20. Number 19, Kenyon Drake, Arizona Cardinals, a matchup going up against the New England Patriots. Drake continues to outtouch Chase Edmonds in this offense and looked super healthy last week. Is the shoulder going to bother Kyler Murray at all? And if it does, do they rely a little bit more on the running game this week? I got Kenyon Drake at 19. Number 18, Salvon Ahmed of the Miami Dolphins. The reason he's got an asterisk, well, Myles Gaskin has returned to practice. Is he cleared to play this weekend? That's the biggest question that we have not heard yet. If he's not, this is where Ahmed, will land. If Gaskin does play, I expect there to be a little bit more of a split in this backfield, and more than likely, they'll drop a little bit further down the rankings. But for right now, got Ahmed at 18. 17 is going to be James Conner, Pittsburgh Steelers, now playing Sunday football against the Baltimore Ravens. Not the greatest of matchups, and historically, he hasn't been that great against Baltimore. This year, they're relying a lot on the passing game, and it's working, and it's really hurting the bottom line of James Conner here in recent weeks. That's why I've got him dropped down this low to number 17. Number 16 is Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The reason I have Hunt a few spots lower, I expect Cleveland to have a lead in this game and rely heavily on Nick Chubb down the stretch. I don't see them trailing and having to throw the ball a whole lot to Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. However, the floor should still be fairly safe in an offense we know is going to focus on the run for 4 quarters, but for right now, got Hunt at 16. 15, Mike Davis, Carolina Panthers. Sounds like no Christian McCaffrey here once again. In a matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings, sounds like Teddy Bridgewater will be back under center for the Carolina Panthers. But really the biggest issue here for Mike Davis is where is the passing volume? Where has it gone? That's what we really need to bump him any higher than this, because he's just not one of those between the tackle type of guys who's going to rack up huge rushing totals. So Mike Davis needs that passing volume to go any higher. For right now, got him at 15. Number 14, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kansas City Chiefs, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A very difficult matchup, but the way that this offense is structured in Kansas City, they're almost matchup proof to the point of at least CEH is going to have a safe floor. Is the volume going to be there? Are they just going to utilize the passing game up and down the field all 4 quarters? It's a possibility. Plus, does Le'Veon Bell continue to eat into touches just a little bit here or there? Last week, still looked like Clyde Edwards was the lead guy in this backfield. That's why he's going to remain the highest option here at number 14. Number 13 is going to be Todd Gurley, Atlanta Falcons. A lot of people complaining about Todd Gurley after last week. I didn't hear much complaining in the first 10 weeks of the season when he's scoring all the touchdowns. Then he gets a matchup against the toughest run defense, and everybody wants to jump ship. Well, you may have jumped ship 1 week too early, because a matchup going up against the Las Vegas Raiders should be great for Todd Gurley. Plus, there's a chance of no Julio Jones, which means more volume in the backfield. I got Todd Gurley at 13. 12 is going to be Chris Carson, Seattle Seahawks, a Monday night game going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. A solid matchup for Chris Carson, but it's not 100% sure that he returns. Everything sounds like it's going to, and that's why I have him right here at number 12. But do they give him the full workload? Do they still use Carlos Hyde? Because Carlos Hyde looked great at times last week. I would like to think that there's a little bit of a split in this backfield, but every time Carson comes back from injury, he always seems to get the full workload in that backfield. Wait and see what practice reports are. If he is a full go 100% practice participant by the weekend, he's going back into my lineup. Got him right here at number 12. Number 11, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys, going up against the Washington football team, and we saw a bounce back from Zeke last week, right? A lot of people didn't know what to do with him. We told you to keep him in your lineups. You can't afford to sit Zeke, and you can't afford to do it again this week. Going up against Washington, got him at number 11. Number 10 is James Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars, going up against the Cleveland Browns, a game in which we expect to be fairly close enough to where they can continue to run the football in Jacksonville. Plus, with Mike Glennon under center, I have to think they rely on James Robinson quite a bit. He'll be the best and safest option in this offense. Got him at number 10. Number 9, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers, going up against the Chicago Bears, Sunday Night Football. And yeah, it's a difficult matchup for Aaron Jones going up against Chicago, but it's also difficult because his head coach wants to continue to split carries with Jamal Williams, and that's really limiting his ceiling. It's why we stayed away from him in the offseason. We just couldn't trust the coaching staff and play calling. For right now, got Aaron Jones, number 9. Number 8 is Antonio Gibson, Washington football team. He just continues to climb up the rankings every single week, and now a matchup this week against a team in which he just torched a few weeks ago, the Dallas Cowboys. Antonio Gibson may not be getting huge volume, but he's super efficient and he's finding the end zone. That's what we're looking for. Got him at number 8. Number 7 is DeAndre Swift, Detroit Lions, going up against the Houston Texans on Thanksgiving. All signs pointing to him being good to go and cleared off the concussion protocol. And great, because we lost out on a great opportunity last week for DeAndre Swift. I'm glad that we get to have him against the Houston Texans, one of the worst run defenses in all of football. And with as banged up as the Lions are, DeAndre Swift could be in for a big game. Got him at number 7. Number 6 is Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, and a lot of people worried about Alvin Kamara, and deservedly so. His first game of his career without a reception was last week with Taysom Hill under center. Under center this week, Taysom Hill. Yes, it's time to worry about Alvin Kamara. However, he's not going to go the rest of the year without a reception. They're going to continue to involve him in the game plan. I have to think in the first full start for Taysom Hill, the offense was a little bit just throw it to Michael Thomas-esque. This week moving forward, they'll open it up a little bit more, and Kamara will slightly bounce back. The ceiling's just not going to be what it was with Drew Brees. Got him at number 6. Number 5 is Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles, going up against the Seattle Seahawks. A solid matchup for Miles Sanders, and honestly, Carson Wentz sucks so bad right now, they have to take pressure off of him. How do they do that? Well, they utilize the running game a little bit more and use more Miles Sanders in the short passing game. The opportunity against the Seattle defense this week is going to be there. Got Miles Sanders, number 5. Number 4, Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas Raiders, going up against the Atlanta Falcons. A difficult matchup for Josh Jacobs, right? It's easier to throw on Atlanta than it is to run on Atlanta, but the way the Vegas Raiders are built is run first, and you see that volume and that touchdown upside on a weekly basis with Josh Jacobs. Can't count him out. Got him at number 4. Number 3 then is Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mentioned him when we talked about Kareem Hunt. I expect Cleveland to have a lead in the second half of this ballgame and rely heavily on Nick Chubb's second half, racking up the carries. We know he's already going to see 20 or so anyway. If he can get any more in this game, we could have another big week, maybe a couple touchdowns from Nick Chubb. Got him at number 3. Derrick Henry, Tennessee Titans, a difficult matchup going up against the Indianapolis Colts. But one thing that we've seen from Tennessee in this stretch of pretty tough matchups here over the past few weeks is a whole lot of Derrick Henry. Yeah, at times he's kind of underperformed because he hadn't found the end zone. Well, he found it last week. The volume continues to be there, and the touchdown upside will always be there. The big bruising back with the ability to break a home run at any given moment got him at number 2. Which means number 1 is no surprise to anybody. It's Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings, going up against the Carolina Panthers. A great matchup for Dalvin Cook, somebody who could actually go out there on a weekly basis and see close to 30 touches a week. He is what starts this offense. The running game of Dalvin Cook opens up the passing game for the likes of a Justin Jefferson and an Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook is just dominating right now in a great matchup. My number 1 running back here in Week 12. All right, that's my quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 12 fantasy football. Hopefully that was able to help make some of your decisions a little bit easier. If it was, hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel because we talk about it all year long. So have a great Thanksgiving to you and your families. We look forward to talking to you Saturday evening at the live stream. We'll answer all of your fantasy football questions, as many as we possibly can anyway here this weekend. So hopefully you have a great rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you later.